How's it going, everyone? I'm Keys, and today we're talking Season 3 of The Boys. This show is great because it is so hard to watch, yet you can't stop watching it. And a central plot point of this season is that there's this new temporary V on the streets, and it gives people powers for 24 hours. Maeve ends up giving some to Butcher, which everybody knows how that's gonna go. And all I gotta say about that is it seems really easy for Butcher to get these doses considering they're $2 million a pop, and he seems to take them very easily and willingly. So he is burning through some serious cash, I imagine. Or at least the company is getting robbed of some serious amount of money for every one of these times that Butcher or Hughie take the temporary compound V. But Hughie ends up taking the temporary V and he gets the ability to teleport. And I think that he is naked every time he teleports is amazing. And I love that attention to detail. But it also makes me wonder, could he teleport his clothes if he really concentrated on it? Because he's able to transport other people, as we saw. So when he was trying to transport Annie away, he was able to take her. So I wonder if he grabbed something and tried to teleport specifically with that in mind, would he be able to teleport it? Or does it have to be like organic matter or something? I also don't really understand why Annie was so against the plan to use Soldier Boy to kill Homelander. Like, yeah, I get it, he's a terrible dude and probably just as bad as Homelander, but this seems like a really good opportunity to take Homelander out, considering Homelander has a grudge against you, and also Soldier Boy would be a little bit easier to control and he can literally depower people. So I feel like substituting Soldier Boy for Homelander probably would have been a good call in my personal opinion, because like, he can't fly, he takes a while to get around, even though he might be as strong or as powerful. Now they've proven twice over that they can give him the neurotoxin to put him to sleep, and even if he wasn't, he would be walking around or even driving in a car, but it's not like he can immediately get to people like Homelander can, so it might be easier to stay away, I feel like, from Soldier Boy. So I feel like that still would have been a really good opportunity to take Homelander out and replace an evil for an evil. From Noir's flashback, we can see that Soldier Boy is probably just as much of an asshole as Homelander is, but I feel like if he had won the fight, then he might have just gone off to get drunk and be depressed somewhere for a while and not actively seek to kill other people or the cast that we know. So I feel like that might have been what he did. And I know that he said he wanted kids, which is ironic because I didn't see it coming that Homelander was going to be his technical kid. I was definitely also surprised that even more so that once Homelander had that speech, that Soldier Boy was still willing to kill him, because I'm not sure why, just because he thinks he's a pansy, but I guess he just doesn't appreciate his son. So, you know, he says he wants kids, but I really feel like he would have been just as horrible of a father had he had them, and he just really wants them because he's greedy. It's something that he can't actually have, so he wants it. If he got it, he would no longer want it. So I really think he's just would be a horrible father. Clearly, he tries to kill his son and his grandson, technically. So I just, I really just feel like it's a selfish thing that he wants kids and he doesn't want kids to pass on his legacy or anything like that. I feel like the most unlikely thing in this entire show is that there isn't some sort of kryptonite for Homelander developed by the government. You're telling me he was a child in their lab for how many years, and they did countless tests on him, and they didn't find anything that could hurt him? That seems highly unlikely to me. I feel like the government, and you would think it's Vought that has these answers, but you would think they would have the solution to take him out, because it seems very unlikely that these very selfish people that are trying to advance the human race would also not think about their wallets and, how they have power because they have money, but they created this dude that could wipe them all off the face of the earth seems like something that they might have thought about while they were developing these superhumans as a way to maintain their power as ordinary people. But I agree with Maeve that when he got bruised, that was amazing and probably one of her best days ever, because it shows that he's more vulnerable than previously thought. He was definitely knocked down a peg, because if you bleed,
do you bleed?
You can die. And I really feel like that was such an important moment to see Homelander actually take some bit of damage, no matter how small, because that's just one small step to showing that he can be killed. A-Train had sort of a redemption arc this season. They were trying to do it kind of like the Deep, I feel like, except I was not feeling it at all for A-Train, because everything he did just felt extremely selfish still, and really because he wants himself to be promoted. And I was kind of hoping he died there, because I felt like that would have been a really good way to wrap up his arc, actually, because he had just told Hughie that he's legitimately sorry for what happened, and I think he actually meant it, and you can see he's starting to feel remorse. So I feel like that would have been a good place to end his arc, and just, you know, have him kill Blue Hawk and then just die. And I think that would have just kind of wrapped his character up more nicely. He could be coming back next season and maybe trying to team up with Annie again, and I can't see that happening, because he betrayed Annie this season and someone got killed for it. So I really don't see him turning back to, you know, try to take out Homelander. So like, I feel like he's just gonna go back to being kind of an asshole and just being a terrible person. So it's almost like his arc didn't mean a whole lot. Like, this whole season with him and everything he's gone through just hasn't really meant a whole lot, I feel like, because he's probably just going to go back to being the same person, because I don't see the team taking him in and using him as someone that could fight on their side. Also, I just want to say that everything with the Deep this season was incredibly uncomfortable, and I'm just going to leave it at that. At the end, I also thought it was an amazing arc for Hughie, though, where he saw that Starlight was in trouble when she was fighting Soldier Boy, and he thought about taking the Compound V so that he could go in and protect her, but he thought about it and realized that that's not what he needs to do. What he needs to do is be there for Annie, and he has a brain. He can think about different ways to take people out, which I feel like we saw from the very first season when he took out the invisible dude by shocking him with electricity, and that's kind of what Hughie's there for, and he amplifies different people's powers and makes them shine in the best possible way that they can and be the best possible versions. So him deciding to instead power Annie up by using the lights and all the electricity around, I thought was a great touch, and it really showed his full arc from literally wanting to be the hero to learning to trust someone else to be that for him. Also, I'm guessing the Congresswoman's daughter is now a Supe, because I don't think she died. The last we saw of her is she got injected with that thing, and then that was it. That was the only time we saw the daughter. And now we see the Congresswoman like around throughout the season, and she doesn't look terribly upset, so I'm assuming that her daughter made it through and is now somehow a Supe. So I'm not sure if that's going to have a large role to play in next season, or I'm not really sure what the point of that was, unless there's something more about her daughter being a Supe. Maybe it would be cool if her daughter ends up taking her out. Wouldn't that be a twist? I also want to know why Kimiko stopped speaking, because like, she said a couple words in the hospital, and then they went through that whole ordeal with being captured by the evil Russian lady, and then she didn't say a word or even really feel like she tried to say a word through the rest of the season. Also, speaking of which, that Russian lady, I'm kind of surprised that she went, you know, all scorched earth on Frenchie, because she seemed like someone that might have honored her deal that she made with Butcher. So that surprised me. She was just basically used as some kind of plot device to give Kimiko a reason to want her to get her powers back. At the end though, Homelander killed somebody outright and lasered his face off. And I thought it was honestly entirely unrealistic that nobody screamed and ran away. And I mean, like, it was odd that, one person cheered and then they all started to cheer. And like, okay, maybe a couple people are kind of off their rockers and are going to cheer out that. But you're telling me not one person ran away? That seems incredibly unlikely to me after watching someone literally die in front of your eyes. Also, Jesus, that stepdad is the worst. I mean, I can't even fathom just how bad that guy is and how much I dislike him. I'm really hoping MM's ex-wife leaves him next season, because I don't think I can take another scene with that guy and that guy's attitude. He's a complete nut job, and it's like every time you watch him, you just want to punch him in the face. Like, you couldn't even feel bad for him. I don't know, like, MM punched him, and he was like sad because his daughter saw, I guess, but I was like, yes, do it again. But, anyway, I don't know. That guy is so annoying to me. Overall, I loved the season. I thought Jensen Ackles was amazing as Soldier Boy, and obviously he's not dead now, so if he ever wakes up again, he is going to be super pissed. So I would not want to be in that room if he ever wakes up again. But let me know, what did you think of this season, and what you think is going to happen in Season 4? I'm Keeks, and I will catch y'all next time for some more evil superhero content.